Deze week kwam Up With People naar Apeldoorn. Up With People is een internationaal uitwisselingsproject waarbij studenten een week bij gastgezinnen verblijven en vrijwilligerswerk doen in het gastland. De week wordt afgesloten met een theatershow op de laatste dag.
Meneer Van Schoten, u bent een van de gastouders deze week. Wat zijn uw verwachtingen?
Dat het een hele gezellige, leuke, spontane kennismaking wordt.
Er lopen heel veel studenten hier. Weet u al welke van u is?
Nee, ik wil mezelf daar even mee verrassen. Dit is voor de eerste keer dat ik dit doe.
En hoe bent u benaderd?
Ik ben vrijmetselaar en daarvan is er iemand op bezoek geweest en heeft gevraagd of er belangstelling was om een student een week lang thuis te hebben. En die belangstelling heb ik.
En waarom dan?
Omdat ik het gedachtegoed ook heel mooi vind om het huis open te stellen voor mensen die reizen. Reizen is voor ons eigenlijk heel belangrijk. En vooral dit soort reizen is prachtig, omdat er vanuit verschillende werelddelen zijn mensen bij elkaar, studenten bij elkaar, zingen samen. En ik zing zelf ook en ik ben ervan overtuigd dat door zingen de grenzen vervaren. En dat is een mooi gebaar en dat wil ik graag tonen.
En dan is het afwachten welke student er bij welk gastgezin hoort, want het is voor beide partijen een totale verrassing.
You've just met your host. What are your expectations?
Honestly, I have no expectations for the Netherlands. I know that there are a lot of bikes, and I know that our guitar player is from here. I had never left the country of the United States before this trip, so everything's new for me.
So how do you find it so far?
Amazing. I can't believe I've never been to Europe before. And I was excited coming in and seeing all the houses and the architecture and everybody smiling and it's fantastic.
What do you do in the US?
I'm out of college and I am trying to be a writer, but I'm a bartender.
And where have you been so far?
We started in the US and then we went to Switzerland and we just came here from Liechtenstein, which was beautiful. Some of the best mountains I've ever seen.
So you just go into it open-minded and you'll see, you go with the flow?
You have to, that's half the fun.
Why do you have to?
Because if you go in with expectations or closed-minded, you're not going to experience everything that you might get to experience. A major part of this whole trip is getting to stay with host families and see how people live in the countries. It's not a hotel, it's not a tourist spot, it's his life. It's the houses and the places where people actually live. And there's no better way to learn about a culture than by doing that. It's so fun.
Maya, you're from Australia. Is this your first time in Holland?
Yes, this is my first time in Holland.
And what's your first impression of Apeldoorn?
Well, when we were driving through, I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Very different to Australia, but gorgeous.
How is it different from Australia?
How's it different? It's much flatter than where I'm from. Much flatter. I live in Sydney, so I live on the beaches of Australia, and it's got lots more trees and it's more foresty.
What's your first impression of Apeldoorn?
So when we got to Apeldoorn, it was very exciting because I saw everybody on their bikes, and I'm not used to that at all. I think it's all the buildings are really old looking, and I just think it's really beautiful here. And also we're here because of Interpec and Harbor's Trucks, so I'd like to thank them for us being here. And I'm really excited for the week so far.
What are you going to do this week?
We will be volunteering at the Salvation Army and also Stitching Present. I believe you pronounce it. And we'll be doing gardening and painting and other volunteer work throughout the week as well. And then at the end of the week, we'll have a 2-hour performance here.
Have you already met your host family?
Yes, I just met them.
And what do you think of them?
They're so friendly, they're so nice. It's different from last week because they speak English, but they have kids and everything, and it just seems like a really happy family, so I'm really excited for this week with them.
Next week is Queen's Day. You know anything about that?
Yeah, they told us about it. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm actually thinking about going to Holland from Belgium to see it, because I heard it's such an event. So.
It's awesome, you should be there. And what are you going to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow I will be working for volunteer work. I can't recall the name right now of where we are working, but some of us are going to work with the Salvation Army and with Schilsberg something. I don't remember exactly the names. So yeah, volunteering work.
U bent ook een van de gastouders. Wat is uw eerste indruk?
Ik heb 2 hele leuke dames. En een van de 2 heb je net geïnterviewd.
Wie was het dan?
Erin.
En waarom doet u mee? Waarom heeft u uw huis aangeboden?
Ik heb zelf 25 jaar geleden meegereisd met Up With People. En nu zijn mijn kinderen wat groter. En toen dacht ik, het is voor hun Engels heel goed om eens even wat andere mensen in huis te hebben. En het leek me gewoon wel een leuke ervaring om zelf eens gastgezind te zijn.
Hoe bent u benaderd?
Ik heb zelf contact gezocht.
En waarom dan gastouder voor Up With People en niet voor een andere organisatie?
Omdat ik Up With People al ken. Ik heb er zelf mee gereisd. En ik heb wel vaker zitten denken van, god, lijkt me wel leuk. Maar dit kende ik, dus dit durfde ik wel aan.
Wat vindt u van het doel van Up With People, Bringing the World Together?
Ik kan me voorstellen dat het voor heel veel mensen een beetje rooskleurig klinkt. Maar uit ervaring weet ik wel dat door te reizen, met name in Amerika heb ik dat ervaren. Mensen kennen Nederland niet en ze hebben toch een bepaald beeld van Europa, van Nederland. En daar kun je dan toch wel wat verschil in maken.
Hoe gaat u hen Nederland laten leren kennen?
Door ze gewoon mee te nemen in onze dagelijkse bezigheden. En ik woon aan de rand van Apeldoorn, dus ik kan ze ook nog het mooie Apeldoorn laten zien zonder huizen. En ik ga een beetje afwachten wat zij graag willen.
Zo, daar gaan we op de fiets. Maar hoe zit het eigenlijk met de show aan het eind van de week?
Veronica, you're very busy, all of you. What are you guys doing?
Right now we're setting up the stage for our performance tonight. So we have some people setting up the stage, some people setting up the costumes. We are setting up flags in the lobby to make it inviting for our guests, and we're setting up merchandise.
How much time does it cost you guys to prepare everything?
We usually prepare around 3 hours every morning of a show. So from about 9 to 12 we set up everything together, and the cool thing is that the cast is the one who do it. So we don't rent anybody to do it for us, we do it all together. So it's a teamwork effort to make everything ready for the night.
And you all visit a lot of theaters. What do you think of this theater?
I think this is a beautiful theater. I think during this whole tour, this is the most beautiful one we've been in so far, and I'm amazed about the auditorium because it's modern and it's nice, and you have so much room on stage, and the facility is fantastic.
What did you learn yourself about Holland?
Well, what have I learned about Holland? That's a very good question. I didn't know that biking was such a big thing, for example. I knew that you were biking a lot in Holland, but not this much, that you had separate bike lanes. I think that's the first thing I can remember that I've learned so far about Holland.
Ja, die Nederlanders met al die fietsen toch.
You guys are very busy with the preparation for tonight. You're working with the costumes. Who designed them?
Betsy Potter designs all of our costumes.
Can you show us some of the items?
Yes, so for YMCA we have like an army man who's going to be dancing, and then for the 80s medley we have Cyndi Lauper's costume. Awesome. Yes, and then for international costumes we have one from Norway that was brought by one of the students as well.
Okay, that's cool. And you've been here in Holland for, I guess, 3 days now?
Yes.
How do you find it?
I think it's great. The weather here is amazing, actually. We've been very used to very cold and wet weather recently, and so it's been really nice to see the sunshine.
And how's your host family?
They're amazing. I really enjoy living with my host family.
Are there any things you've learned about Holland while you were here?
Just how much they use bicycles. I've heard about it before, and then I actually got to see how much bicycles are really used here, and it was really cool to see that.
Isn't it a fun way of traveling?
Yes, it's really fun.
Terwijl er druk wordt geoefend met de laatste danspasjes, komen daar ineens prinses Margriet en Pieter van Vollenhoven binnenwandelen. Nu alle voorbereidingen gedaan zijn, kan de show eindelijk beginnen. En na zo'n optreden is er natuurlijk een welverdiend gala.
Hector, very well done. What is the message you want to spread?
Okay, the message we want to spread is to bring the world together, singing song, helping each other and smiling. Smile.
Some of the lyrics are very touching. How do they affect you?
Very much. One especially, there's called "You're My Son." It's very sensitive and it's very poetic and it's a real story. So it's very, very sentimental and yeah, it's great.
What is the purpose of Up With People?
The purpose of Up With People, it's that I say, it bring the world together, making community service, social work, and make the concert, this show. This show is like the way to say thank you to the community that we serve, and yeah, this is.
You did some community service at the Salvation Army at a rehab center. What does it do to you to see drug addicts?
Oh, it was hard. It was a 2 hardest day for me to see all the people like in a very difficult situation. But well, we work together with my team, and well, we have a great job, and we paint a smoker room. So when it's cold, the people can join the smoker room painted by Up With People. So it was great.
Can you name something that you've learned from your tour with Up With People so far?
Oh my God, I learned so many different things. Like, well, of course, I improved my English, and well, so many different languages. Now I understand more French, and definitely I doesn't already understand Dutch, but I will try to do sometime.
Can you give an example?
In French?
In Dutch?
No. Dank je wel.
That's very good. Alsjeblieft.
Yeah. And that's it.
Dave, can you tell us what's your role with Up With People?
I'm the Director of Cast Operations, which means I oversee our operations for our tour and manage our staff, the development of the staff, the hiring and that process for general HR for our staff, and the big picture of our touring cast.
What is it you want to achieve with Up With People?
There's a lot of different goals with Up With People. For myself, it's development of our students. And when they get off the tour, whether that is 6 months or a year, they're going back home and they're the change makers in their communities. They're taking leadership roles, they're stepping up and working in nonprofits and working for organizations and giving back to their communities or the world. So that's really my personal goal as Up With People. We want to bridge the gaps between communities and different societies and bring people together, and we do that by going into the houses. We're singing on the show, very positive, but then we go out in the communities and do something. We're not just like Glinda the Good Witch, where we come in, we sing about love and peace, and then we leave. We want to go and get our hands dirty and really show that you can go out and make a difference, and you can go out and make a difference. You just have to get involved.
Lucky.